In the top stories, Cabinet approves Easter discounted VAT rate day. Brazil police accuse Bolsonaro of fraud in vaccine records. And malnutrition in Gaza hampering health workers' ability to save lives. Hello and welcome to the ZIZ Midday Newscast. Today is Wednesday, 20th March 2024. I'm Scotticia Hendrickson. Nationally, the Cabinet of St. Kitts and Nevis has announced the approval of an Easter discounted value-added VAT rate day to observed on April 12, 2024. Discounted VAT rate day is a continued initiative aimed at providing financial relief to citizens and stimulating the economy. On VAT day, VAT-registered businesses will charge VAT at the reduced rate of 5% on the sale of goods. According to information out of government headquarters, by slashing the VAT rate from the standard 17% to 5%, the government aims to alleviate financial burdens on citizens and ultimately bolster economic growth and stability. To ensure the effectiveness and fairness of this initiative, certain guidelines have been established. All tangible items currently subject to 17% VAT will qualify for the discounted rate of 5% on discounted VAT rate day. Eligible items must be readily available for sale and immediate issuance or delivery to customers on discounted VAT rate day. Orders for items not in stock will not qualify. Vehicles, guns, ammunition, cigarettes, and alcoholic beverages are excluded from the discount. Businesses are encouraged to actively participate in discounted VAT rate day, seizing the opportunity to attract customers and to contribute to the nation's economic revitalization efforts. On Tuesday, the Right Honorable Dr. Denzil Douglas, Minister of Foreign Affairs, hosted His Excellency João Quinteiro da Silva, Special Envoy of the Portuguese Republic to the Caribbean. St. Kitts and Nevis was the first visit on the itinerary of the diplomat's Caribbean tour. During their meeting, the ambassador delivered letters from the President and Minister of Foreign Affairs of the Portuguese Republic, underscoring Portugal's commitment to expanding its diplomatic presence across the region while emphasizing multilateral collaboration. Both parties also shared concerns particularly regarding climate change. Portugal, as a nation with surrounding islands facing similar challenges to small island developing states like St. Kitts and Nevis, is deeply committed to combating the detrimental effects of climate change. Minister Douglas and Ambassador Da Silva discussed tangible cooperation mechanisms, including training, scholarships, climate financing, and participation in international fora. Minister Douglas also commended Portugal's effort to strengthen ties with the Caribbean region, acknowledging the importance of leveraging Portugal's significant presence in international organizations to advocate for the Multidimensional Vulnerability Index. Notice has been given for a sitting of the National Assembly to be held at the National Assembly Chambers Government Headquarters, Bastère, on Tuesday, March 26, 2024 at 10 a.m. The other papers will be issued at a later date. The National Assembly will be broadcast live on ZIZ Radio 96 FM and participating radio stations. It can also be viewed live on TV Channel 5 in St. Kitts and Channel 98 in Nevis. It will also be streamed live at www.zizonline.com. Copies of bills are posted when they are available on the website of sknis.gov.kn of the St. Kitts and Nevis Information Service under the section Bills. In regional news, Brazil's police have recommended the Jair Bolsonaro to be charged for the alleged forging of his COVID vaccination certificate, adding it to the former president's panoply of legal woes. More in this France 24 report.
Throughout the COVID pandemic, the then Brazilian president Jair Bolsonaro scoffed at vaccinations, but federal police say he still wanted the benefits of a vaccine certificate. Following an investigation, they're calling for Bolsonaro to be charged for submitting false information to the public health database to make it appear he had been vaccinated against COVID-19. During questioning last year, Bolsonaro denied any knowledge of records being tampered with, but police maintain he and several co-conspirators plotted to falsify vaccine certs to obtain undue advantages. After he was defeated in the presidential election of 2022, Bolsonaro travelled to the United States, which at the time had strict vaccine rules for incoming travellers. He was still there in January 2023 when his supporters attacked the Brazilian Congress in a failed attempt to overturn the election. On X, formerly Twitter, Bolsonaro's lawyer called the accusations absurd and pointed out that his client had always been public about his personal opposition to the vaccine. He added that when he was president, Bolsonaro was completely exempted from showing any kind of certificate on his trips. This is political persecution and an attempt to void the enormous political capital that has only grown. It's now up to Brazil's Prosecutor General to decide if Bolsonaro will face a criminal trial at the Supreme Court.
In international news, the World Health Organization says doctors are showing signs of malnutrition, including weight loss and exhaustion, amid food shortages as the war in Gaza continues. Al Jazeera's news reporters has more.
Dr. Bashar Abdelkader hasn't stopped working all day. He's doing a 24-hour shift in the Accident and Emergency Department of Al-Aqsa Hospital in Gaza and surviving on a few plates of rice and little else.
We've been provided with a few meals, but nutritionally, they are not sufficient. Each meal is shared between 2 doctors and consists of rice and a small amount of vegetables. No protein. It's not enough for a doctor working these hours.
The head of the emergency department is worried about his team's ability to keep going. He says dire food shortages mean staff start their shifts exhausted and famished.
We're seeing malnutrition among health workers in the emergency department. Weight loss, pale skin. They can't work like this, especially with so many injuries coming in. They don't have the energy to work for more than 2 hours.
At the hospital's makeshift kitchen, they turn the few ingredients available into meals for staff. Canned food has become a staple with little else to eat during more than 5 months of war, but it's far from being an adequate source of food.
We're suffering from nutritional deficiencies. Fruit and vegetables aren't available, so we're not getting any minerals or vitamins. We depend on canned food, but sometimes the price of that goes sky high.
Without adequate nutrition, there's a high risk of health workers falling sick, and that's the last thing Gaza's collapsed health system needs. Victoria Gatenby, Al Jazeera.
And now for the weather. Present weather is fair skies with slight dust haze. Temperature is 27 degrees Celsius or 81 degrees Fahrenheit. Winds are a light breeze of 5 miles per hour from the southeasterly direction. Seas are 1 to 1.5 meters or 3 to 5 feet. Weather forecast in St. Kitts and Nevis for today will be partly sunny skies in general. Tonight will be fair to partly cloudy skies with a 20% or a slight chance of brief late night showers. Sunset today will be at 6:18 p.m. Sunrise tomorrow will be at 6:21 a.m. And that brings us to the end of the ZIZ Midday Newscast. Join us this evening for these stories and more in detail. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm Scotty Sia Hendrickson.